And the Apostle Paul, who had lived a life which, though to many people may have appeared to be a righteous life of wiping out these sinful Christians, in the eyes of God, surely he was the chief of sinners, and God said to him, from now on, Saul of Tarsus, you are going to be one of those Christians. And you are going to be the most influential Christian who ever lived. You are going to spread the good news which you have up to this time tried to stomp out. Saul said, okay, it's just beginning for me then. What a wonderful attitude in all of those people that at a point where they could have said, it's over, I've done my thing, they said, it is just beginning. There's significant things that they needed to do in order to move on. For Abram and Sarai, they had to say, look, we don't know where we are going. We do not have a plan. We do not know how we are going to fulfill what God has told us to do, but we will go ahead. And sometimes that's what God is in our lives. God is that within us which says, I don't know what I'm doing, I have no full plan, but God says, go and do this thing because it is His good will. And when you're open to that, life is just beginning. You will do great things. And then there's Moses talking to that silly burning bush. You know, there's lots of interesting theology around the burning bush, but one of the most interesting parts, and something that I think is really significant, is the extent to which those ancient people, even though we think that they were primitive and unscientific, understood the nature of fire. And when the author said the bush was burning, but it was not consumed, in his mind, he had a scientific idea that is really significant. We know today what fire is. Fire is what happens when the molecules within a substance interact with oxygen, and when that happens, those molecules, the substance of that item which is burning, are consumed and they go away. And the ancient observer understood that. He understood that fire consumed because it required some source of energy. So if that bush was burning and it was not being consumed, it means that there are some flames in this world that burn with an energy from somewhere else. There is a source of power that is not of this world. And when all your power is gone, and you say, I can't do any more, you can open yourself to God and say, Lord, I have heard that there is a source of power that is not visible. I would like some of that power, please. And I would like a mission to carry out with my power. And with the Apostle Paul, perhaps more than any other, he had a reason to say, I can't go on, I am finished. It was because he was sinful. We read this morning in Jeremiah, God's wrath for the sinful person. But we also recognize that the sinful person who recognizes their sin and is penitent is received and forgiven and empowered. Even Jeremiah says the time has come to put the plow into the ground and turn the soil that did not yield, and plant new seeds and see what grows up. And that's what happened in the life of the Apostle Paul. God turned over the soil, which had yielded only hurt and pain, and planted new seeds which sprung up with love and joy. For all of those people, it was not the end. It was just the beginning of life for them because they were open to God. And what I say to all of you today, I hope this church recognizes that life is just beginning for it. Even though we have been around for 156 years, life is just beginning. We will be open to God. God has wonders and joys and new possibilities for us beyond our imagination. And I hope that every one of you knows, no matter what your age, no matter what you have done in your life is just beginning. Because God has wonders for you to accomplish. God has purposes for you in this world that are great and shining and beautiful. You are going to fulfill those purposes. And you will have in your heart all of the enthusiasm, the joy, and the expectation. Little child, the first day of school, when everything is new and fresh and exciting. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.